What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about FUD. We are seeing some serious news stories that have created a ton of fear going into September. All unsubstantiated fake news stories. Now, September's always been a bad month for crypto historically. Historically, the worst month in all, across the year. And there's a lot happening coming up this month. So I want to talk through what's happening along with the fake news that will not impact the market unless people's psychology lets it. So before I get into that, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins that I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I released the videos, prices are recording, and you still holding them at the current prices, you'd be in profit for around 10k. If you had sold those coins in the previous bull cycle when the markets were flying high, you would have been in profit for 123k. Difference between a bull cycle and a bear cycle, ladies and gents. And we are in a bear cycle. The markets are down. They're probably going to be down for an extended period of time. So there is a real opportunity to build really strong positions. I've been doing that. If you want to see the coins that I own, you can come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share every coin I'm buying at the moment, because obviously I'm not selling too much, anything at the moment, because bear cycle, it's time to buy. It's time to buy. And just want to point something out, the coins that did the best in the bear cycle, the coins that did the best were the ones I found in the bear cycle, all of them. And Phantom is at the top of that list. I did a Udemy course saying it was going to be the best investment of the year. Said it would 100x. It cost $20, that Udemy course. If you'd have put that $20 into Phantom when I released the course, you'd have been in profit for 13 grand, because it did a 677. And when I find the next one that I believe can do that run like Phantom, I'll obviously share that with the members. So if you want to know what it is, go to the site, read through it, and if it resonates with you, I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so Forbes. I tend not to use Forbes. I try to avoid it because I hate it. They're FUD central. This is almost their favorite headline: crypto braced for, and then some figure. It's always the way. But there is a lot happening this month. Okay, so there is a looming so-called Black Swan event. That's the fake news. I'll talk about that in a sec. Ethereum's major upgrade and a Fed interest hike. Those two things are happening. Right? The Ethereum's upgrade is set for sort of midway through this month. Sorry, September, around the 16th, I believe. Now, were that to happen, and when that happens, that could be an event that actually triggers a really positive thing for the market. But it's happening in September. September is historically, month on month, the worst month for crypto since the inception of crypto. So it will be interesting to see how Ethereum's price point is affected in September, if September continues in its sort of historical moves of being a bad month. And if the merge goes through fluidly, seamlessly, we could see a buying run for Ethereum for the couple of weeks prior to the merge. We could see a sell-off after the merge, or we could see continued buying. But if things go badly for Ethereum, if it doesn't go as fluidly as we would like to see, that could have a bigger impact. Because fundamentally, look, if Ethereum runs, generally the ERC20 is running. Bear in mind how many ERC20s are out there. Ethereum itself can move the market now. Obviously, Bitcoin moves it more. But if Ethereum does have a struggle, if there are problems as that merge happens, that could have a significant impact on the market. We also saw Jerome Powell talking very, very recently about, Friday, and he was very hawkish on the overall market. He said there's pain ahead for households and businesses. He said that they have to get inflation under control. 1 month is not enough to stop what they're doing. So the probability of a 75 basis point hike is increased off of that Jackson Hole conference. And the markets reacted really negatively to the news. Nasdaq, Dow Jones, everything dropped Friday. Crypto obviously dropped. I think Bitcoin dropped about 6% on Friday. Continued that drop across the weekend. And if a 75 basis point hike does happen, combined with the sort of 95 billion tapering measures that they've got in place, we could see greater downturn in the markets again off the back of that, combined with again a rough September. Historically it's generally 9 out of 11 times or something has been a really bad month. And now we're getting really significant FUD stories. And Forbes, rather than, actually pointing out that there's no evidence of it other than one rough, quick statement saying unfounded rumors. But Mt. Gox, the rumors that are circulating on Mt. Gox, one of Mt. Gox's trustees could imminently be releasing a number of its Bitcoin, its recovered Bitcoin to creditors, exacerbating a Bitcoin price crash. Now, again, poor work from Forbes, because literally one statement saying unfounded rumors swelled, and this is the Black Swan event they're talking about. And how many of these original investors sitting on a 50x profit will sell their newly returned Bitcoin, potentially driving them down the Bitcoin price? Well, we couldn't possibly know. I think a percentage would, because a percentage would go, holy shit, I can buy a house, and would do that. Or holy shit, my life's changed, I can do that. A lot of people wouldn't. But the news stories around that, this Mt. Gox thing that has been trending on Twitter has been ridiculous. And it's got to be pointed, Mt. Gox isn't distributing any coins this week or the next week or the week after that. That's a Mt. Gox creditor that's confirmed this. The repayment system is not even live yet. And selling pressure continued as a result of this across the weekend. And a lot of places have picked up on the news story, but it's a fake news story. We've seen multiple people coming out and going, no, I'm owed a lot of money for a lot of Bitcoin from Mt. Gox, and they're not getting in touch. They've not been in touch to say that that it's going to be happening this month. So the fact that they're not, the people that are actually owed are not getting that information shows that this isn't happening. And people have differing opinions. We are getting into some interesting debates. Mt. Gox releasing 140 Bitcoin wouldn't change anything. Anyone who held Bitcoin back then has now made a 40,000% gain. So why sell? Well, and 140,000 Bitcoin sold it in a day is only about 1/20th of the total Bitcoin trading volume. There could be some truth to that, but I think there would certainly be people that would sell, because if you bought 20 Bitcoin back in the day, and now your 20 Bitcoin are worth, $400,000, you can literally pay off any debt that you've got. People will do that. But Mt. Gox repayments aren't going to happen. They're not going to happen. Even Yellow Block, they point out the repayment plan delayed. Analyst says fear was unwarranted. And here we go. Here's a nice article from yellowblock.io, where So Michael Vander Pop opined that Mt. Gox's Bitcoin repayment process wouldn't tank the market. There's been further delays have emerged. And I don't, yeah. And Michael Vander Pop, he put out, Mt. Gox will not be releasing the Bitcoin and will delay the distribution once again. The entire crypto space was stressing out heavily on this, but unwarranted. And this was just yesterday. And again, there is some truth about the fact that, look, 140,000 Bitcoin entering the market. Not everyone's going to sell. Some people would, but not everyone's going to sell. And it's not happening. Certainly not happening imminently. So, the Black Swan event that Forbes have said, and I know there's other places. I think Bloomberg have done one as well. It's BS. Don't get swept up in it. Don't get freaked out about it. But also know, if the market did tank, that's a good thing, because it's a buying opportunity. That's all. That's how everyone needs to remember. When the market's down, that's a great buying opportunity. If you believe that the market's going to come back, which I certainly do, we have cycles in Bitcoin. This 4-year cycle scenario seems to be playing out. So it wouldn't be the end of the world anyway. But the FUD continues, and it's worth remembering. The FUD happens. I showed a Twitter thread from 2 Pauper a couple of times on this channel. I recommend people read it. It's pinned to his Twitter thread. He was a former CEO, but he goes through how markets are manipulated, how he used to manipulate markets. And what we're seeing in terms of news stories screams market manipulation. Screams it. So, bear it in mind. Because the Mt. Gox Bitcoin release isn't happening. It's just not. So if you're panicked about that, there is no reason to be. If you're hopeful about that it tanks the market, there's no reason to be, because certainly not going to happen anytime in the next few weeks. But September, like I said, rough month. And there's real things that we know are happening. Ethereum merge, if that doesn't go well, and that's a really complicated thing that's going to be happening. They're moving completely from proof of work to proof of stake. This is not a small job. This is huge. And if it goes wrong, that could have ramifications for the market. How the Fed are going to hike again is going to have ramifications for the market. They're actual tangible things that we know are happening. They're what people need to focus on. How are you feeling about them? Do you think we're going to be in for a real decline in September? Let me know in the comments down below. And you know what? If you're in, comment on the Mt. Gox thing as well. Tell me what you think about that. Do you believe that that's coordinated FUD? And if you've not read the 2 Paupers Twitter thread, highly recommend it. It's very enlightening into how markets are truly manipulated. And that's it for me. And if you want to see the coins I'm buying up in this bear cycle, the ones I think can do the 20, the 40, the 50, the 100x's for the next bull cycle, when the markets fly high, then come check out Copy My Crypto. The link's in the description. You can read through the site. Everything's verifiable because it's all on bloody YouTube. And if it resonates with you, I look forward to seeing you there. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.